Matt Province back at the WEC postgame after the Highlanders go to 1-0 in conference play here in the America East, defeating Maine by the final of 69-66. And I tell you, they're never easy, especially conference games. That one, I mean, was nip and tuck, well played. What put you over the hump?
They played really well. That team's really tough. They're going to win some games. They legitimately play 12 or 13 guys, so it's a tough game to prepare for, and they grind it out offensively. They make you play a full 30-second shot clock, and you have to beat them, and I thought they controlled the tempo of the game most of the evening. So for us to kind of grind it out, and then, we got some important stops down the end. I thought we showed great toughness and grit. We got to solve this free throw thing because, I think we win this game. It's never going to be easy, but you win this game by 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're better than we were from the line. I think we were 18 for 32, but we missed 2 front ends. So, we did a great job of getting to the line today. We need to capitalize on that. But I was really impressed with Maine's effort and their balance. Those young freshmen are pretty good players.
You got to think, this program's headed in the right direction. The way the 2 freshmen, Yakawa and Ireland, played today, they didn't even use the backcourt duo of Duhart and Maciek that is obviously so explosive. But for you, it came down to then if you can't make the free throws to ice it, you've got to make field goals. And Miles Coleman, again, it's an interesting game. It's a throwback game, but is it kind of drawn up then, get it into this guy's hands because he can make a variety of baskets from drives to just step back jumpers.
Yeah, he's a really, really hard guard. I've been saying that all along, and now we're halfway through, or his second season. And last year, he dealt with a lot of adversity with the injury to the ankle and the COVID stuff. But he is back, and he's obviously a huge part of what we're doing. He didn't start today because we hold these guys accountable for on the court stuff and off the court. He was late for practice yesterday. So he didn't start. I thought he struggled to get into a rhythm off the bench in the first half. I don't think he was real good. I thought he was frustrated, but he's shown a great deal of maturity by bouncing back and, making the extra pass on a couple possessions. And then he finally, he was a little upset. He thought he got fouled on 2 drives and didn't finish, but he fought through that, and he had some big finishes for us, and he obviously rebounded the ball very well. I believe he finished with a double-double. 23 and 10, so
yep,
that's pretty good.
It's funny because he was the star, but if we had 2 supporting actors, in the first half had to be Matt Faw, second half probably James Lee. And I want to talk about Faw first since we'll go chronologically. You and I have talked, it's so important to get him comfortable and putting up the type of numbers that you'd expect from what he did last year in the Patriot League, similar league, and having a good year. Is that coming together? It's now double figures in 4 of his last 5 games.
Yeah, exactly. And this is our first conference game. And when games are going to be played in the half court, these conference games, I think Matt Faw could be a really impactful player on the offensive end. He plays so hard defensively, and he's an excellent rebounder, obviously. But he had 11 and 8 tonight, and that's kind of what we thought. If we could get 11 and 8 from him every night, I'd be thrilled. But we kind of thought that's the impact, he could have. And James Lee was terrific again. I mean, his line doesn't do him justice. He had 10 and 6 with 2 assists and 2 steals. I felt like he had about 3 or 4 big assists, and I thought he felt like he had 5 or 6 assists, but he got those 50-50 balls, which they didn't count as steals. He had 2 of those. So his effort, his defensive effort is tremendous. And when the court spread, and we play a little bit faster, which we needed to a little bit tonight because they controlled the tempo. I thought the first 28, 30 minutes of the game, we got some baskets in the second half, and James was a big part of that defensively and then transitioning to offense.
So from 21 days off to now having to play later this week at the house that Jeff Rafferty helped build up at UMass Lowell. What's the key? I mean, it seems like you emerged healthy. What do you see now moving forward as you guys prepare for another tough conference game, and it's right back on the horse again in just a few days?
Yeah, well, I said it the other day, talking to Pop about the league. Like, the league's, it's so balanced. It's really good. Stony Brook looks terrific on paper, and until someone knocks Vermont off, they're certainly the cream of the crop in this league. New Hampshire, this is the best team I think they've had in ages, and I think the rest of the team, the UMBCs, I think the rest of the team, some of the teams in transition are going to be good and better than expected. I think we're going to be pretty good if we play well. I think UMass Lowell's very good. So, and then Binghamton, from what I just heard walking out here, Binghamton beat Lowell today. So I think the league's wide open. I think there's some teams that were 1 and 2 in the preseason polls, and that's Stony Brook and Vermont, like I mentioned. But you got to go out and win the games now. And like you saw tonight, this was a dogfight, and I anticipate we're going to have another 17 of these, unfortunately.
Not for the faint of heart.
No.
I mentioned that to Rob Kennedy during the play-by-play. If they're all going to be like this, and many of them will be, boy, tough stomach. But even Maine's going to surprise some people, obviously, the way they played, and they're finding out
some games.
they have improved, no doubt.
Yes.
Good talent.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to let you go relax and enjoy this one. You had the scout for this one, so a lot of work went into the game. The Highlanders come out with a W, which is how we draw it up. Congratulations on that, and let's have fun getting ready for UMass Lowell.
You bet. Thanks so much for having me. And this is what we all live for. And this coach now, game. So I'm going to go home and watch Binghamton and UMass. Lowell,
So no rest for the weary. That is top assistant Jeff Rafferty. I'm Matt Province. Highlanders get the W, go to 1-0 in conference play, 6-5 Raw, winning 69-66 here from Newark. Thanks for watching our post-game recap from the Wellness and Events Center at NJIT.